These conversations happened on the evening of October 13, 2020, at Jane's Bar in a usually quiet town in Indiana. Everything you hear is true and plausible.
We have no idea who they are and what they're doing.
And remember how we didn't care just as long as we had a place to escape.
And no matter what horror, whether it was El Paso, Boston, those poor kids in Florida, or even Vegas, we couldn't let our escapes of being entertained by sports or TV be canceled for 1 minute.
We couldn't even stop entertainment for a day to mourn and pray with those families. But the entertainment continued, and then we forgot.
Well, having everything stay the same was our escape. Maybe if we had focused less on our entertainment, we'd have been more determined to find solutions. But now we have the time to focus.
Yeah, remember after that horrible mass shooting in Las Vegas? The best they could do was have one moment of silence. During Monday Night Football.
Yeah, but that's the way with everything. I mean, come on. We don't want to deal with injustices unless we're forced to, or even a disagreement unless we're actually confronted. Or, you know what? Even the truth if it doesn't support the side we're on. So what? We all look for distractions so we don't have to share in the misery of those being discriminated against or hurting. But come on, guys. Look, there are no more distractions. So let's use this time to resolve our differences.
And you're right. We don't have to worry about those distractions anymore. That moment of silence could still last a long time with meeting restrictions and lack of sports because of the virus.
Oh, no, sweetie. They're going to have to cancel your Dancing with the Stars now, too, huh? That's also a contact sport, no?
Ha 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 ha. Yeah, well, now that we don't have a say in what's going to happen, we should share our misery and talk about how to solve the problems that our country's facing.
Like the beginning of stricter gun laws. If the NRA will allow people to vote their conscience.
Come on, man. Are you kidding me? Have you seen what they've done to us? And the most important thing you can think about is taking away people's guns. That's number one in your plan.
I think that's already in their plan.
No, I was just saying that every time there's a school shooting, we get in these big debates about what to do, but no one can get over the fact that if we can limit school shootings like in Florida, we can do it by having stricter gun laws.
I agree with you about stricter laws, but people can now get guns without even breaking the law. The tragedy in Florida occurred because of the FBI follow through on tips they knew about a kid who was going to shoot up the school.
Just like the FBI agreed, they screwed up the tips they got from the brothers in those Boston Marathon bombing when they got the tip from the FBI about the Russians, right?
Yeah, that was Bush and Mueller again. And then Bush paid back Putin for the tip by having us boycott Russia's Olympics.
Jeez, with all the shit missed and lives lost, sounds to me like Mueller was in a daze long before he appeared before Congress.
They're all too busy with the politics going on in Washington that they're not able to protect us, as now we see even clearer with this virus attack.
Okay, but they're using automatic weapons to slaughter a lot of people.
You know what, though, man? Now you're starting to talk away some of the most basic rights that are granted to us by our Constitution. And as a matter of fact, if we lose all those rights, what's to stop us from losing all the other ones, man?
Wait a minute. You hear what you're saying?
What?
All those other rights were just taken away without firing a single shot. So all that talk about how important your Second Amendment rights are, when it came right down to it in real life, didn't be a thing.
Well, you know what? The government didn't ask for my guns and they didn't get them either.
But the only reason your guns are important to you is to protect all your other rights. And they just went through your back door and took those away.
Maybe if I feel someone's taking my rights away, I'll use my freaking guns then, huh?
But automatic weapons.
You know what, man? Anything less in these days, it'd be like bringing a knife to a gunfight, or a drone fight, or whatever the they do now. But because when the government declares martial law and decides to take us over, which you know they will someday, our handguns ain't gonna do no good for us, man.
Yeah, but there's also not much we can do without planes, tanks, and ships. So we need a government we can trust.
Wait, automatic weapons belong on a battlefield, not Walmart.
Yeah, it's because of the actions of these evil, cowardly people, not the government, that demands are placed on legitimate gun owners like yourself.
Yeah, and they are cowards. When I went and faced death to protect my country, these pieces of shit stayed home and were afraid to take that chance. And they pick on unarmed citizens and kids to slaughter.
And all the people who were killed, whatever color, religion, or where they came from, had so much more to offer this country than any of these losers.
Well, until you treat the root cause of the attack, they'll continue.
Right, getting rid of guns.
No, I was thinking more about using the news, right? Since so much of this horror is done to get attention, whether it's by terrorists or kids doing it to show how powerful they are to their classmates.
But you guys don't put on the news and you cover it for days and you make them famous. Like what CNN did with that special on white supremacy the night before the shootings, that I had every kid in the country watching those shows, admiring the killings by those heroes.
You are right. We should have been reporting more about how sick and weak they are, and calling them cowards who are afraid of those who can defend themselves and attack those who are defenseless, and talk about it all the time before these attacks occur.
Yeah, you know, that coward that killed all those kids and that teacher in Texas purposely let his friends live so that they would just say nice things about him. And then when asked by the reporter on TV, that's just what they did.
They should have told the news he was a coward, a monster who had everyone fooled. So everyone watching would know what a loser he is. And that's how we need to portray all of them.
Well, yeah, instead you guys got us all distracted with the royal wedding.
Yeah, and then we get distracted by the presidents and the media and nothing gets done. And then when I go home, I sit down, I think of that impressions of ISIS when they burned that Jordanian pilot to death in a cage. And now the King of Jordan got in his personal plane with one goal to do: bomb ISIS back to hell. And that was a Muslim leader who showed his country he had no other distractions. I don't know. Something to think about, isn't it? But I tell you what, it's good to have a conversation with folks like us who can think for themselves and come up with ideas like we're doing, like us.
Well, as those of us working or taking care of kids don't have the time to watch the news to find out how desperate things are.
Oh, yeah, as I'm lucky enough to have a job listening to complaining all the time about how bad things are and how y'all don't have hope. Meanwhile, I'm in debt going to school full-time on this false hope that somehow my life will get better with an education.
All right, hey, when you get a break from wiping down that table, Missy, take a look outside at that construction worker busting his ass breaking up that concrete with a jackhammer. That's a job.
I'll leave her alone. She's right. It's like all we ever do every day is talking about a bunch of negative crap going on all the time without doing anything about it. I mean, we need to join together and start changing things. That's
Hey, okay, we agree. Just need to be a little bit more optimistic. You know, for every problem you guys talk about, there's a solution that we can come up with. Like coming up with the testing solution to the virus thing. You know, we just depend too much on the government to tell us how to live instead of us telling them what's best for us. Like now, we just got to get away from the TV with its fake news and that iPhone walking around playing stupid games and come up with ideas and solutions.
Yeah.
And elect people more concerned with our lives than theirs.
all right.
Good stuff, man. Good ideas.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, remember when I was talking to you all about this like green movement stuff and how I thought it could really have a positive impact on our lives?
As we got bogged down talking about the global warming, as we were digging ourselves out of the blizzard of the century, right?
It was about climate change, not global warming.
Oh, so now you go and change the catchphrase because we had a little more snow than we had in years?
No, it's because all our pollution is causing changes to the jet stream and the Gulf Stream, which are causing more violent weather everywhere on the planet. We are changing the climate.
That stuff has been happening for years, beginning of time before there were cars and coal-fired plants. It's been happening since then. It's the balance of nature. It's just natural.
But we're making it worse than by adding more carbon dioxide and methane to the air faster than ever before.
Wait, but doesn't carbon dioxide help plants grow?
Oh, jeez, yeah. Hey, and you know what? So does fertilizer. But you'll see me sprinkling on my cereal in the morning.
Listen, if you want to start handing out blame, put your buddies over there in China at the top of the list. They do twice as much of whatever we do.
Hey, at least China signed the Paris Accord limiting emissions of every country, with Trump wanting to back out because he's more concerned with corporate profit than a healthy planet. And China is going to have to do a lot more of it.
Damn thing. China's like, do you know what 1.5 million people died over there last year from air pollution? They didn't do a damn thing.
Yeah, well, a report just came out and shows the pollution from China is making its way across the Pacific to our West Coast, adding to those fires.
Great. Another disaster waiting to happen. Hopefully after the virus they just sent over is gone.
I wonder if your Paris Accord is going to blame that on us now.
Hey, what we need is a carbon tax to stop the poisoning of our environment.